Well, I'm Nan Norman, and I go by Nan Nease Norman, which is like N3, na. And isn't that unusual?
I love
it.
And
I'm with the Myrtle Beach Diet and Regenerative Medicine, and meaning we do anti-aging and hormones.
Awesome.
And also the aesthetics aspect of it. My position is everything from I will do the dishes in the back, and I will also do hormone testing and evaluations, and then Dr. Norman has to do the hard part of writing the prescriptions, but I will make the suggestions. And also aspects of diet and counseling, which really ties in with my degree. I graduated from the University of South Carolina, and it was a major of English and also psychology, because I loved them both, and I was going to write about people with crazies, you know?
You just couldn't decide.
Starting with myself, right? And it was wonderful. And so that's really been integral in everything I've done. And then we went back to A4M and did the fellowship on hormones and studying everything about bioidentical hormones, mainly because that's the missing link today.
Right.
You start with hormones, and remember, vitamin A, E, and D are prohormones. And people know nothing about hormones, and if you do that, you don't have to take medicines most of the time. You know, and if you need a little medicine, well, great. Take something to shut your appetite down and find out what's missing and put it back in if there's deficiencies. And then if you need a medication, go for it, but not the way we're over-prescribing today.
Right, don't pump your body up with all those.
You see all these ads for people using all the antidepressants, and I go, you know, I worked in psychiatric hospitals doing tutoring. There are people that need these medicines, but not just because you're going through menopause or you had a bad breakup with a boyfriend. We're supposed to be sad, right? What else? A little bit about the company. We started out years ago when I first met my husband. I was very interested in health and exercise, and he kind of was, you know. And we started our first date. We went out running and exercising.
You went running on your first date?
Yeah, and I starved him. We went running, and of course I tried to beat him. And I'm really competitive, and so I thought that was wonderful. I went out running with him, and I outran him. And
naturally,
I love it. And so then we just kind of we evolved into that competition of running together and doing little things like that, and then just fell madly in love. And then he was in medicine, and I was working with psychiatric medicine, and then I worked for the Department of Parks and Recreation and Tourism. I went to California, and I did work with some people in marketing, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but you evolve. Right. And then when he started his practice, I said, well, okay, you know, my parents had a beach house in Cherry Grove. I said, well, let's just go there. And then we did, and I just said, well, this is silly. What is this medical model? I mean, where you see patients and they're all sick because they're overweight and they're strung out on alcohol and whatever else they were doing back there in the 70s. And I said, what? Let's show them how to be healthy. And that's where it really began. We'd take people on walking trips. And I'd say, let's go down Ocean Boulevard, and I'd show them how to walk, and I'd check their pulse and pulse rate and their heart rate and blood pressure. And that evolved into, and I said, put your name on it. Dr. Norman's Myrtle Beach Diet. There's something, don't you hate, you go by a billboard and it'll say something on health and fitness, and they don't put their name on it. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the number one thing you do. You put your name on it. Do you believe in yourself? Put your name on it. Put it out there, because that means I'm proud of what I do, and I back what I do, right? Mm-hmm. So you'll say, Savannah's company. Yes, indeed, you do that. So I think that's very important. That's why you see Dr. Norman's Myrtle Beach Diet out there. And that's how that evolved. And with products and things like that we kind of give the people what they want, not what you think they need.
Right.
But try to incorporate the two of them together.
Yeah.
How's that
sound?
I
like that. I love it. So what is a challenge that you have faced working in that type of environment? Because you're very hands-on with people and dealing with emotions and all of the crazy stuff.
Since my very first job working for the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism in Columbia, I've never had this issue like you're hearing today about men. You know? And mainly because I was assertive, and I was honest, and I maintained my integrity. Mm-hmm. I don't get it, you know? Yeah. What you do is the minute you see the problem, you address it at that moment. You don't wait 10 years later and then freak out and act like you were abused. That's crazy. Right. That is crazy, you know? I applied one time for IBM. It was going to be $24,000, an amazing job for someone who's just out of college back in the 70s. And I went for the interviews, and I used the name IBM because this is what really happened. So I go for the first interview, and he, of course, thought I was just wonderful. I'm a hard worker. And then he said, well, we need to meet for dinner, so I really need to ask you, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I thought, dinner? And I thought, well, I'm new to this, so maybe you do go for dinner, whatever. They want to see my manners and how I conduct myself. But I made sure that I will meet you there at what time? 7 o'clock, very good. Let's make it 6:30, a little earlier. And I made sure the table was in a place that was very visible, and just maintained myself. And I watched him like a hawk, and as we progressed with the interview, I thought, this guy's full of bull. I'm sensing something here I don't like. And I said, thank you very much. Well, okay, yeah, of course. And then later on, I was contacted, and he said, well, and the way he was double talking to me, it was like they were having a seminar in Hilton Head. Remember, I'm Colombian, and we're going to meet in Hilton Head, and that's like when they're going to make the final decision on me. I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought, that's a lot of money, $24,000 to start out, and then I thought, no, you're selling yourself out. So the best time I ever had in my life was a friend of his who was with the company came up to me in a restaurant later, and I was with my friends, and said, hey, I hear you're really getting places with that interview. I said, do me a favor, you tell him to take the job and shove it. Okay. I wasn't going to sell myself out for any amount of money because I knew I could do better. But I never had more fun than telling him that.
Oh, yeah.
Really loud. And I said, because I don't feel comfortable with what he's doing. Okay, what year was that? 1972.
Right.
Okay? So when I hear all this stuff going on, like Matt Lauer locking women in their thing, are you kidding me? And you're going to sell yourself out for $1? There's going to be someone there to see your integrity and to hire you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you could go for another job interview, and they'd say, so you're the one that had integrity. They'll grab you, right?
Yes, I love that.
Don't you love? I got more stories too.
No,
because
yeah.
by the time I'm 70. By the time you get to be 70,
you're not 70.
Yes, I am. Isn't it hilarious? It is impossible. But the only thing I like about aging sucks. But the one thing I love about it is the wisdom you can acquire if you use your head. And trust me, I went through a lot of thinking that would have been a good job, a lot of money, and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
But then I just said, no, it ain't gonna happen.
I feel like there's a lot of self-doubt also in those types of situations because you never really know what God has in store for you.
Go for your gut.
So it's just like...
Go for your gut. And I'm a Christian, so I'm going to always throw that in. The Holy Spirit gives you enlightenment. He's going to say to you, it ain't not working. The dude's a jerk. Okay, I get it.
Right.
And if you follow that integrity, and here's a wonderful story. In California, working for a marketing firm that did the marketing for Carnation and for Sunkissed, lovely company.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I finished my work, and I went into the break room to get some water or whatever, and I opened the refrigerator, and it was disgusting. There was ice all over it, and I had 30, 40 minutes free, so I just thought, this is horrible. So I pulled things out, and I was cleaning the refrigerator and defrosting the ice and doing this in my little business suit, and in walks the president of the company. And I remember he walked in, and I just said, oh, hello, Mr. Haug. I still remember his name. And I just said, I hope it's okay. I said, I just really need to do something to fix this up. He left town, and I was on like the vice president's office. He left town a couple weeks after that and left me in charge of his office. So what do you think everyone in the office said? They all said, oh, it must be his new girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Did that bother me? Heck no. I didn't even know the dude. Yeah. And I thought, he saw integrity. And he saw me taking an interest.
Yeah, taking an initiative too.
An initiative.
You weren't asked to defrost the
That's
refrigerator.
Right. Yeah.
You just
and it's
saw
not
a
beneath
problem
my
and you solved
dignity.
it.
It's not beneath your dignity. If you get out there with a broom, someone's going to see unless you're taking time off from your important job.
Right.
And if you're doing something that is distracting at the time. Detracting and distracting. No. That is going the extra mile. And that's kind of the way I was brought up to do. No work is dishonorable, right?
Right,
no.
Absolutely.
I would say the most important thing for success in your business And the most important thing for you to be out is, like I told you, to have your feelers out and to go with your gut. Your soul knows. You know what is honesty and what is dishonesty. Do not go with the dishonesty. If you're not real sure, go with the honesty and feel your feelers out. Surround yourself with people that think the same. And the most important thing in a business is the minute you see the flag, I call the red flag, you better run. And that person needs to be out. And they will eventually get themselves out very quickly.
Right.
As an example, in our office, we have the most amazing crew of people out there. They're just precious. If they are sick in the morning, they'll call at 6 o'clock or 5:30 and go, oh my gosh, I'm really sick today. I don't know what to do. Or my baby is sick. What can I do? I know you're in a bind. Let me bring her with me. That's a crew that really works together as a unit,
right.
you know. In the past, I have seen where someone doesn't show for work and you call their house and they don't answer. There's your flag. They're gone. Because what that tells you is that they're dodging you. And of course, you know, hey, you have a car wreck or something horrible. We've had that happen too. But the minute you see that flag, you know there's a flag. When my daughters start working with us when they were just in college, they go, Mom, you're just being harsh. She's so sweet. She said, that's its flag. And sure enough, within a month, they showed their flag again and they were
right.
out. They would self-destruct. People self-destruct. I always told my girls, stay sober, show up on time, and put a smile on your face. You will beat every woman who's more brilliant, more rich, more beautiful. You'll beat them all because they can't stay sober, they can't show up on time, and they can't put a smile on their face.
Yeah.
It's Mickey Mouse simple to be amazing success, right?
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, if you do that, you got them all beat because they're gonna be hungover one day and not show up for work and make an excuse, and you're gonna see them downtown shopping, right?
Yeah, that's
true, isn't it?
That's so true.
Golden truth.
So
Golden
true.
Truth. Absolutely. Yeah, we can see clearly, and we know the truth, and we know darkness and light, and that's the best part about it with business is just going on that instinct and using your integrity, right?
Yeah, I love it.
It's simple.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for asking
I
me.
appreciate it.
I
Thank you
just
for all
love-
your wise words and lessons.
I appreciate it. We didn't delve too much into the heavy business aspect of it because really,
No, yeah.
the more I thought about it, that's really where it all starts, is using your integrity and your judgment. And no, I don't think this is a good person to see or do business with. This person seems erratic, and you go with your gut.
Right.
And that's a lot of business right there. Or this person seems they're looking for trouble. I sense something, and then you know.
You can see people's intention behind everything
You
that
really
they do.
can, can't you? You absolutely can.
And
Well, thank you. This was so much fun. I had a ball
Yes,
talking to
thank you
Savannah.
so much.
Anytime.
Yes.
And you have a blessed
I'll be
day.
back.
You'll be back. I love it.